I love learning. I love telling stories through words and pictures. And this book, Making More, is the most exciting story I can think of. Making More is a story of how life begins. It uses plant and animal examples to discuss reproduction in a way that's clear and age-appropriate for a kid. And it's meant to be a tool for parents to use to talk about these different topics without having it be difficult because people aren't part of the conversation. The book takes this tricky topic and turns it into an easy conversation with a kid. I live in the Pacific Northwest in Western Oregon, and we live in this house on the edge of the woods. We see turkeys and deer and squirrels and wildflowers and ferns every day, all the time. And when I look around me, I see all these different ways that life reproduces. And though rabbits and trees seem to have very different lives, they have so much in common with the way that they make more of themselves. And so you can take those big biology principles and break them down and put them into a story in a way that a kid can understand and walk them through it. Where this book started was that I was really interested in reading about evolutionary biology and genetics. I was taking in all these adult books, reading about these topics, and I thought it was really interesting and exciting, and I thought it would make a great book that was about nature's greatest hits, peacocks and anglerfish and all these different species from all over the world. But I still didn't really know how to structure the book. I started by doing lots and lots and lots of reading and making lots of really terrible sketches, and my first ideas are just light years away from where I ended up. I am not a scientist. I do so much homework to make sure that I get things right. I have met with so many scientists, psychologists, veterinarians, biologists, wildlife experts who have gone through my manuscript, who've looked at the art, who've checked over it looking for any mistakes that I've made, because I want to make sure that I get this right. And so I've been met with nothing but encouragement and enthusiasm from the scientists that I've approached, who have really given so much of their time and energy and feedback to me so that this project can be right. I think they see me as a journalist and a translator and a storyteller of the work that they're doing, and so they're excited to bring it to a new audience. I really love doing on-location research. I love being in a space. I love talking to the scientists. I love having that experience myself, because then I can take that and I can put that into the book that I'm working on. With Neighborhood Sharks, I went to the Farallon Islands and I met with scientists and actually watched great white sharks hunting seals. With my book, How to Be an Elephant, I went to Kenya and got to see baby elephants in the wild, learning from their parents and herds moving through the plains and just taking in all of that experience and then being able to channel it into a book. And with this book, with Making More, I realized I didn't have to go very far at all. In fact, that I could just look out my window, walk out my door, and see all these different examples right here. What I love about this topic is that you can walk down the sidewalk, you can walk through the grocery store, and you can pick up a dandelion or a tomato and look at it in a whole new way. And living in this place and realizing that I could set it here in my backyard, in my neighborhood, was really the thing that unlocked the story, because I wanted it to feel like you could take a walk and see all these different ways that living things reproduce right in one place. Bring that to kids. I want this book to inspire curiosity in a kid and get them interested in the natural world and feel like they're a part of this bigger story. Like, they have two parents. They came from two sets of genes too. And that's amazing. And that story is how we're all unique, but it's also a story that tells us how we're all connected. And that makes me feel really alive. And I want to give that to other kids too. And what's ahead is hopefully sharing it and telling the story to kids and empowering my readers with this information and helping them to just be better grounded in their sense of place, to feel more connected to their parents, and to know that it's okay to be curious and ask questions. That raising your hand and asking the question, how did the baby elephant get out of its mom, is a good question. These are fantastic questions, and I want kids to keep asking questions.